How's it going? Tyler Brown here with Productive Woodworking, and today I'm going to be making a walnut and hard maple cutting board. And if you can believe it, this is going to be my first cutting board. I've been woodworking for 5 or 6 years now, and I've just not gotten around to it. So I'm going to be making this a little bit special with an optical illusion. So it won't look flat, but it definitely will be. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut these to rough length on the miter saw and then square up one edge on the joiner. So now that we have a straight edge and they're in rough length, we can come over to the table saw. I'll give you guys just a quick tip. I know in the past, I usually just used a combination blade. Really, you need to be changing out your blade for whatever action you're performing. If you've ever struggled pushing some of your wood through your table saw, you're probably using the wrong blade. So for this case, I'm going to start ripping this hardwood, and I got a glue line rip blade. I would highly recommend looking into a dedicated rip blade for your table saw. It makes a world of difference. Alright, so now that we've got the correct blade in there, let's start ripping these to width. So now that the boards are cut into strips, we can start laying out the initial pattern and getting to the first glue up. The pattern is just going to be every other, but since these are some thinner boards, I'm going to be pairing them up into two. Here's a quick tip for you. When you're using your parallel clamps for any type of glue up, especially with this cutting board that I'm about to do, I'm going to have a lot of glue squeeze out. And to prevent that from drying on my clamps, I use painter's tape. And I just kind of measure it out to about the width of what I'm going to be clamping and place it on the bar, and that just prevents me from having to clean it up afterwards. Now that we have everything flattened out, it's time to take this to the next level. What I'm going to do is rip 2-inch strips from it, but I'm going to do it at an angle. That way when we glue it back together, it'll look like an optical illusion and show peaks and valleys even though it'll be completely flat. Alright, I got everything cut out. Now it's time to arrange the pattern and get these back into clamps. Alright, so you guys just watched me finish up the cutting board, and I was actually able to make a smaller one out of the scraps left over making the second pattern. I think they turned out great. There's a few minor things that I would change, but overall I'm really happy with it. For the edges, I ended up doing a 45-degree bevel on the top and the bottom, with the bottom being significantly larger. So every project I do, I usually find something that I've messed up, but no one else seems to notice, and you probably have done the same thing. For this cutting board, I ended up not getting the pattern square on my final cuts. So you can definitely look forward to a video on a straight line tapering jig. It would have came handy on this project, and I know I'll use it in future ones as well. So that wraps it up. I really enjoyed making this. It's something different that I haven't done before. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I have a lot of content coming. If you have any questions or comments or how I could do things better, please leave a comment below. I'll be sure to answer your questions and respond back.